When Henry was freed from the tunnel after Gordon's safety valve had burst, Gordon was sent to the works to have a new safety valve fitted. He was excited.
Hurrah! Hurrah! Soon I'll have a new safety valve, and I'll be smarter than ever before!
When Gordon's repairs were finished, he was keen to get back to work. As he approached the big station, he rushed to the platform. Steady on, Gordon. What's gone into you today?
Nothing, driver. I just want my passengers to see my brand new safety valve.
But don't be silly, Gordon. None of the passengers care about your safety valve. They're concerned about getting to their destinations.
I think they like my safety valve.
Gordon's driver just shook his head. He knew that Gordon's sense of self-importance would often get the better of him. As Gordon was pounding down the line, all he could think about was his flashy new safety valve.
All aboard! My new safety valve will provide a standard of service you've never seen before. After riding aboard my express, you won't want to ride any other train again!
Come on, Gordon. Stop dawdling, it's time to leave.
Couldn't you have given me a couple more minutes?
We have a timetable to stick to. As Gordon approached the big station, he was thinking about how many passengers would be at the platform to admire his new safety valve this time. He was pleased to see a large crowd of people waiting at the platform.
They've come to admire my smart new safety valve.
Gordon, look out! Gordon had noticed the buffers in front of him too late. His buffers smashed into them, scaring away the crowd.
Bother. My fans are gone now.
Never mind that, Gordon. Look what you've done to your buffers. Gordon's buffer beam was a mangled mess. Pieces of the wooden buffer beam had mangled into his buffers, and his frame had been twisted badly. Oh, the fat director won't be pleased about this. And indeed, he wasn't. I don't expect such recklessness out of my engines, Gordon. I'm disappointed in your behavior today. You will need to go to the works to get you buffers.
Yes, sir.
Gordon had to stay at the works for several days to have his front inspected. Afterwards, he was to be fitted with new buffers. As a workman approached him, Gordon was alarmed at what he was carrying.
What is that?
Those are your new buffers, Gordon.
Surely they can't be. Those are square buffers.
I'm afraid those are the only ones we have at the moment.
I can't possibly wear these. They don't look like proper buffers at all.
Would you rather sit here for weeks until we get round once?
I suppose not.
All the same, as Gordon crept into the shed that night, he couldn't help but grumble.
Oh, I'm not fit to be seen. I'm not fit to be seen.
As he backed down the track, he hoped that no one had spotted his new buffers. But his hopes were soon dashed.
Hello, Gordon. I've heard your safety valve hasn't been keeping you very safe. Anyway, have you been bashing any buffers lately?
Speaking of buffers, what happened to yours, Gordon? Have they been cut up? Or have you smashed them again already?
No, these were the only ones they had at the works.
The other engines teased Gordon and his unusual buffers all night. By the morning, he was miserable, and he was not looking forward to taking the express. Come on, Gordon, we need to take the express soon.
Can't someone else do it? I'm sure Vincent or Leonard would love to.
Why don't you want to take it?
Everyone will laugh at my buffers.
You've already made a fool of yourself by smashing your old ones. This would serve you right anyway. Gordon reluctantly got started. As he approached the station platform, he braced himself for teases from the passengers. But to his surprise, he instead spotted a little boy gazing admirably at his buffers. Look, Mummy, that engine has new buffers. I've never seen square ones before. Indeed, they're one of a kind. He must be a special sort of engine. As the passengers boarded, the mother's comment made Gordon feel much better.
Indeed, I am one of a kind. The others are nothing compared to me and my new buffers.
Not this again. A few weeks later, Henry had just finished taking a passenger train. He had been running well ever since he was let out of his tunnel. He had been repainted blue after the incident, and was very happy to be pulling trains again. You're in a good mood today, Henry.
Oh, I am very much enjoying being out of that damp, dirty tunnel. Oh, the thought of it still makes me shudder.
Henry was about to have a rest at the nearby siding, but he was so excited about moving under his own steam again that he wasn't paying much attention. Henry, stop!
Oh,
The fat director was soon called to the scene, and he wasn't impressed. I didn't expect such carelessness from you, Henry, not after the tunnel incident. You have caused a great deal of disturbance.
yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Henry was promptly sent to the works, and he had to stay there for a few days. When he returned, Gordon was in for quite the surprise.
Henry, why do you have square buffers?
Those were the only ones they had.
Look, Gordon's got a buffer buddy.
Are you jealous of Henry's buffers? Buffers. I like the sound of that.
You're just trying to copy me, aren't you?
I'm not. As I said, these were the only buffers they had at the works. And anyway, I think they suit me.
Gordon immediately became extremely jealous of Henry's new buffers. Every time he would pass by Henry, Gordon immediately became bad-tempered. Henry, meanwhile, was keenly showing off his new buffers to anyone who would take notice.
Buffers. Buffers.
He was showing off so much that the coaches were getting very tired of his teasing.
Stop boasting and pay attention! Stop boasting and pay attention!
Yes. Stupid coaches. They don't understand how splendid my buffers are.
Sometime later, Henry was set to depart from the big station. While he was waiting for his coaches, it had begun to rain.
Ooh, mind the rain, Henry. Try not to get stuck in a tunnel this time.
Buzz off, will you?
Henry didn't like to be reminded of that incident, but as soon as he saw a crowd of people on the platform, he forgot all about it.
These buffers must be really special. Everyone has come to admire them.
They hadn't really, but Henry was too proud to notice. As the rain continued to pour, Henry set off with his train. He had to be careful, as rain could cause the rails to be slippery. But I'm afraid to say, Henry was still thinking about other matters. Henry, stop!
Hurry, the station! Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
You came in quite a hurry, Henry. Whatever's the matter?
Nothing's the matter, Ines. I was just preoccupied.
With what?
My new buffers, of course.
That's no reason to nearly miss the station. You shouldn't let some buffers distract you from your work. That would be simply improper.
I know that. It won't happen again.
Are you sure about that, Henry? After all, the last time you weren't paying attention, you crashed into a buffer beam.
Yes, I know that.
Despite Renius's warning, Henry still couldn't help thinking about how splendid his buffers were. When he approached the top station, he saw a crowd of passengers on the platform, looking ahead.
Ah, they must have all come to see my buffers.
Henry didn't know that. In fact, the people were waiting for Gordon's train to arrive. Henry saw Gordon shunting and chuckled.
This'll teach Gordon. He never gets crowds like this.
Henry, you need to stop again!
Buffers. Oh!
Henry tried to stop, But this time, he couldn't simply override the platform. I tried to warn you, Henry.
We told you so! We told you so!
The station master arrived soon, and he was very cross. You again! You've ruined my buffers again! Henry wanted to tell the station master that Gordon was the one who had crashed into the buffers last time, but he thought it wiser to remain silent. After a stern talking to from the fat director, Henry was sent to the works to have his buffers repaired once again. Back so soon? The workmen sent to work, and soon buffers were found to be fit onto Henry, but Henry was displeased with them.
Round buffers? What about the square ones? Can't I have those?
The workman shook his head. I'm afraid you've used the last of the lot. There are only round ones now.
Surely I can wait for new square buffers to arrive.
Certainly not, Henry. You need to get back to work immediately. The fat director saw Henry's face of disappointment. Cheer up, Henry. Would you like a fresh coat of green paint?
Oh yes, thank you, sir. Now people won't confuse me with Gordon anymore.
When Henry returned from the works, he sported a fresh new coat of green and had round buffers again. Although he was disappointed about his buffers, he was glad to have his green coat back. Gordon was glad too, but for weeks afterwards, whenever the subject of buffers would come up, Gordon would always stay sulkily silent.